y'all. This is Dean Rogers for the Rogers Revue, and I am standing here at the Newseum in Washington, D.C. for the D.C. premiere of The Report, starring Adam Driver, Annette Bennett, and John Hamm. The report follows staff Daniel J. Jones and the Senate Intelligence Committee as they investigate the CIA's use of torture following the 9/11 attack. Great to be here. So tell us, what was it like to work with Daniel J. Jones on the film, and how was he involved, and was he on the set of this amazing film?
Well, I met Daniel through actually Senator Feinstein's office. I became aware of him because I read the Senate Intelligence Committee report on the CIA's program. And initially, Dan and I just had conversations about the report, but as time went on, we had conversations about the entire process. So he was an incredible asset to me and to the filmmaking team. He was around part of the time when we were shooting to help the actors sort of understand the protocols of, going through what it's like to be a Senate staffer, what it's like to work in DC, how people talk, how they dress. So he helped in a lot of ways with that, and he was always a really great resource for me because I tried to take as much language from the report itself and use that as dialogue in the film.
Hello, I'm Cortland Jacoby here for the Rogers Revue, and I'm here with the subject of the report, Daniel J. Jones. How is it going tonight?
Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. So you're kind of back in your old stomping grounds watching this movie with a crowd that you kind of worked with. So can you talk a little bit about coming back and how you're feeling tonight?
Of course. I mean, this was like a 7-year journey for us, and Scott uses me as like the chief investigator, as the tracer bullet through this 7-year voyage. But there were so many other senators involved, so many other staff involved. So it's really nice to have everybody here to celebrate the Senate's achievement, getting this report done and out, and ensuring this never happens again.
Most human beings will never have a movie made about them, and that can be great. I feel like having a movie made about you, but I feel like it also can be very hard because certain things aren't going to be the way they actually happened. Can you talk a little bit about kind of dealing with that dichotomy and trying to get the message, this very important message out in the film?
Yeah, well, I mean, Scott had this challenge of compressing 7 years into 2 hours, and you have to show the time elapsing. But Adam does this, Adam Driver. If you see his face and you see his body, he conveys that sort of sense of time that passes as well as the stress that I think we were all under. Again, I'm super proud of the film, so proud of Annette Bening, who plays Feinstein. She's wonderful. She read the report.
John Hamm,
who's Dennis McDonough. Yeah. John took this, everybody took this so seriously, and I feel so much gratitude for being able to bring this story to a larger audience.
You have Adam Driver, who's carrying the weight of this film. What is it like to collaborate with him?
Adam is spectacular. Adam was a Marine, so I think he understood a lot of the protocol, the nature of like working in a system where there's a chain of command. He can't just come in and pound on your boss's desk if your boss is a United States senator. But beyond that, to get this report done took an incredible amount of rigor on the part of Dan Jones and a little bit of obsession. And I think any good actor understands that to get things exactly right, you need that kind of rigor, and you also need a little bit of obsess. So I think Dan and Adam have probably more in common than they realize.
Absolutely. So what was the biggest challenge to take Daniel Jones's life and turn it into a film?
The biggest challenge is probably the fact that this story took 7 years. And you, as someone in the media, knows that, when a story goes on for that long, it sort of spreads out and it loses some of its energy. So trying to take those 7 years and make it a 2-hour thriller in kind of the tradition of American political thrillers like The Parallax View or All the President's Men, which is really, I think, where I drew my inspiration for this story.
Now, after making the film, does it change your view on how the U.S. government treats the people who shone the light on injustice?
Well, that's obviously a moment we're going through right now again. I think the difference is Dan Jones was somebody who was sent by his bosses at the United States Senate to find the truth. And when I spoke to the senators who worked on the committee, they all said the rigor, the discipline, the dedication that went into the report was inspiring to them and made them want to get it out. I think what we're seeing now is a little bit different in that we're seeing people who had other sorts of jobs, but they saw in the organizations that they were in a level of corruption maybe that was uncomfortable to them. And fortunately, we have really strong whistleblower laws in this country that allow people to come forward when they see things that aren't right. And then those things have to be explored by Congress before we can really make any decisions.
Well, we had an amazing time, Cortland and I, talking to Dante Jones and Scott C. Burns for this amazing thriller. The report comes out on November 15th. Reporting from the Newseum in Washington, D.C., this is Dean Rogers for the Rogers Revue. And until we meet again, America, see you out there. This is Dean on the scene for the Rogers Revue. If you like this video and you want more, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to us. And don't forget to check us out at The Rogers Revue. Revue spelling REVUE.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Rogers Revue.